Charlie Kirk is MAGA's George Floyd. Move.
Pam Bondi went and said that she was going to violate the First Amendment and start arresting people if they had spoken in a way that disrespected Charlie Kirk's memory.
Arresting people?
Yeah, for hate speech, what she called hate speech.
Some of the stuff that you saw was like celebrating someone's death, not the sort of canonization of him. So what is the evidence that if I looked hard and looked at your evidence, I would find that such a thing was actually afoot, that people were saying, this is the martyrdom?
All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to start, well, actually, we're not going to start a little early. We're going to start a little late, and so I apologize for that. So let me explain what we're going to do here. We're going to play some rounds. Can everybody hear me okay? We good? All right, thank you. We're going to play a round of something called Spectrum Street Epistemology, and it's basically a way to facilitate civil discourse and constructive dialogue. It's a way that people can clean up the way they think about issues. You know, we think about dental hygiene, but we don't think about epistemological hygiene or how people can think more clearly about issues. So let me explain the setup. And this is to the two folks playing tonight, at least two. Absolutely agree, strongly agree, agree, slightly agree, neutral, slightly disagree, disagree, strongly disagree, and absolutely disagree. And we're going to go over claims on the board, a series of claims. The game is extraordinarily simple. Anybody can do this. It's completely free. It only has one single rule, and you'll be astonished at how many times people violate this rule. The rule is, I will read a claim. I'm going to tell you what the first claim is tonight. The first claim is, Charlie Kirk is a MAGA's George Floyd. And we're going to have my friends, Thomas Chatterton Williams and Michael Moynihan, join us in this, and they will go to a mat. At any point, anybody can move on the mat anytime they want. However, you have to commit to at least one full mat. You can walk all the way over to the other side if you'd like, but you can't do this, or you can't do this, or you can't do this. The argumentation and the reasoning or the evidence that someone gives has to be sufficient to warrant you to move one full mat, and you just stand in the middle of the mat. So that's basically how the game is played. Now, again, I'm going to start very, very soon, but I just want a show of hands real quick. Who is neutral toward the claim, Charlie Kirk is MAGA's George Floyd? Who is neutral toward that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. All right, good. Michael and Thomas, come on up, give him a hand. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Sorry, Michael. Hands. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks.
You
Thomas has
you
done it
wrote an
before.
article that said that. You got to go over there.
I'm never absolutely.
Okay, go over to everybody. Start on the neutral. We'll start on the neutral.
Yeah.
Start on the neutral.
You want me to start on the neutral?
Yeah.
But what if I'm not neutral?
You start on the neutral, but I'm going to read the claim and then you move.
Oh, okay.
So you go to the neutral.
It's a bit of a performance. I should have read your article. I knew that was.
So you're a veteran at this. You've done this before.
I read
with
everyone
us.
yelling at you about the article. I just didn't read the article itself.
Biasing.
Yeah.
Okay. So just one more hand time, real quick. Who's neutral? Who else is neutral on that claim? You are neutral. Hi. Who else is neutral? Okay. Okay, everybody ready? You got the rules?
Yeah.
Okay. Charlie Kirk is MAGA's George Floyd. Move.
Good. You got to go over further.
I'm never absolute.
An article that said
I'm not an absolutist. I'm open to being convinced.
Right.
Okay. So in 1 minute, so stand in the middle of the mat. In 1 minute, give him your reason for why you're standing on the disagree. Why do you disagree with that claim?
Well, first of all, I didn't read your article, Thomas, because I don't have enough time in the day to read your long Atlantic articles. I'm sure they're great. But just the circumstances of the death strike me that I could probably do it in less than a minute, that someone involved in a kind of interaction with the police, as tragic and horrible as that was, and a guy trying to debate seems like a fundamentally different thing to me. So that's why I would disagree.
Okay. Not do you agree, but do you understand his argument?
Sure. Yeah, I was screamed at. I have the advantage of having been screamed that point at myself 10,000 times yesterday. So.
Yeah. So that was not an original point.
I understand the point.
I should go back on Twitter.
Okay. Just repeat it back to him so that he understands and everybody else understands. What was the point? What was his? Why is he on the disagree?
Michael's on disagree because he thinks that it's an asymmetrical comparison to compare a criminal drug addict who was interacting with law enforcement with somebody who was simply exercising free speech and, as Ezra Klein would say, doing politics the right way.
He has that right.
Yeah, he's got that right. That's broadly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have you come up? You're not going to come
wow.
up. Didn't you raise your hand
know.
before? Okay, you did. Okay. So, okay, forget I ever said that.
I mean,
okay.
I don't want to be up here either. But,
Well, gee, thanks. I
like Peter,
appreciate it. I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, tell him why you're on the strongly agree.
So what I'm interested in is not how the men lived their lives or how they were killed, but in how the respective political movements and cultural movements used the fact of their death to canonize them and to flatten the kind of complexity of the issues that we've been debating and to make it a kind of cudgel in which, you have to kind of profess the right opinions, express the right beliefs about what's going on in our society that these deaths exemplify. And there's a kind of blasphemy that can be attached to statements that don't meet that standard.
Okay, not do you agree, but do you understand the claim?
I do.
Okay, repeat it back to him real quick.
That it's not necessarily the context in which the death happened, it is how we react to his death and how one is supposed to deify the person in death and make them a martyr to a particular cause.
He got that.
He's a professional, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I think that mine was better than yours, what I just did. So do I get to move?
Yeah, you convinced yourself to come over here.
So, okay, so why are you not on the strongly disagree? Like, how did you calibrate your confidence to the disagree?
I calibrated that because there is some essential truth to what Thomas says, but I just think it's so limited to certain people online saying that. I mean, right after we saw Charlie Kirk assassinated, we saw, it was George Conway comparing him to a Nazi, a young Hitler Youth guy that was killed in 1932, and that happens. Martyrs happen, and it doesn't seem like there's any organized martyrdoms, individual people. So I get the idea of it, which is not why I'm not over here, right? But I'm not over here because I just think the whole thing doesn't hold together. And I'm sorry, Thomas, I love you. You're my pal.
It's okay. I'm going to try to convince you what
Okay.
Peter Boghossian.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what would he have to tell you for you to move one Matt to the slightly disagree? You can ask him anything, what piece of evidence, reason, what would convince you to move one Matt?
Outside of individual examples that you found on Twitter, was this a kind of movement that you saw of people canonizing him in saying people, because, I get that there's people saying you should get fired from your job, but some of the stuff that you saw was like celebrating someone's death, not the sort of canonization of him. So what is the evidence that if I looked hard and looked at your evidence, I would find that such a thing was actually afoot, that people were saying, this is the martyrdom. You have to adhere to these talking points.
Well, Cardinal Dolan in New York went on TV and said that Charlie Kirk, once he started to do the research and look into this young man's life, that he actually seemed to be a lot like St. Paul. There's already been a highway named after Charlie Kirk. There's a proposal to put him on one of our coins in the National Mint. There's a kind of, I think it's passed. There's going to be a Charlie Kirk National Day of Remembrance on October 14th. His own organization made the claim that it was actually a modern day miracle, that he actually saved bystanders' lives by not allowing the bullet to exit his body. And this has kind of been like overlapping with an evangelical Christian passion that you might have seen at the memorial service, where it takes on a kind of scale that meets some of the, I think, the needs for a movement to have a martyr, saint-like figure. You remember when Irina Zarutska was killed, several weeks before Charlie Kirk, and then there was this kind of astroturfed attempt to make her into a Floyd-like figure, where Elon Musk and other tech CEOs were offering
I'm going to cut you off pretty soon.
millions of dollars to paint murals in her image, trying to have that kind of thing that happened organically with Floyd. Then that suddenly was eclipsed by the passion that was put into Kirk's death.
Was that sufficient to move you at all?
No.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I really
Fine.
like Thomas. And
So
I don't
what-
mean to be a truculent asshole,
What-
but not convincing, Thomas. Try again.
What would Michael need to tell you? Well, now it's his turn. What would he need to tell you? What piece of evidence, what argument, what reasoning, what causal chain of reasoning to move you one Matt to the agree? You get to ask him.
Yeah, in what way does Charlie Kirk not appear to you to have been sanctified and deified, and there to be a kind of desire to make it impossible to say certain things about him in death?
I think there's a time issue here, right? I think that one of the things that we see in the weeks following this is this outpouring of grief and political anger, and I wonder how durable it is. The guy I think it was in Oklahoma, am I wrong about this, who said we should have in the schools, there should be a Charlie Kirk X, Y, and Z. He resigned last week.
To work for Turning Point USA.
Yeah, but at least he's not in government, right? At least he's not, foisting this upon the students of, it was Oklahoma, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I think in time, this kind of reaction always worries me, and it is accelerated by Elon Musk tweeting this stuff and just social media in general. But yeah, I don't see it actually moving very far beyond the next month or so. I expect there'll be the memorials and there'll be scholarships and things like this, but that kind of sanctification, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that convince you to move to agree?
Oh God, no.
No.
Okay.
I want so badly to show, because your speech philosophy is so effective and I love it.
Okay, well, good. Well, let's do this. We're
It's
going
going
to
to effectively end up, we're going to end up hating each other. So
No,
appreciate
that would be the opposite of the exercise. Okay, everybody, I'm going to reset the claim. Go to neutral.
Okay, yeah.
All right, go to neutral.
Oh, you got to come over here too.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk's character is basically equivalent to George Floyd's character. Move. Charlie Kirk's character is basically equivalent to George Floyd's character. Move. Interesting. The same. Okay, go back to the neutral, please. George Floyd's death was weaponized by the left. Move.
Oh, we're hanging out.
Wow, so there's a lot of there's a lot of agreement.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of agreement. Okay, go back to the neutral, please. Charlie Kirk's death is being weaponized by the right. Move.
No, it's being weaponized.
Yeah.
But right, okay.
Yeah, absolute.
No, that's disagree.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
yeah, I was following you. Sorry.
Good.
The game. Like,
I almost messed the game.
We're buddies now. I'll go to agree.
Okay, so
I don't like the
you're
word weaponized.
There's a broad consensus.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do another claim. Go back to the neutral. It's a good thing that George Floyd's death was weaponized by the left. Move.
I'll just go to disagree. Look, this is ridiculous.
Wow, so you only have disagreement. That's interesting. You only have disagreement in the first point. Okay, go back to the neutral. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing that Charlie Kirk's death is being weaponized by the right.
All right, we'll go back to the same place, right? You're going to go either, oh, wow.
So there's, again, major, okay, couple more real quick speed rounds.
Where do you get these mats, Peter?
Well,
do you have them like made?
These, what?
Do you have these mats made? Or can you
Oh
buy
yeah, they're
these?
awesome. Yeah, we give them to people in the school system who want to do this. So if you're in a K through 12 system, we'll do it. Oh, do me a favor, don't post that online. You can video, but please don't post it. I just trust you not to post it. Okay. The right is invoking Kirk's name to advance illiberal aims and silence opponents. The right is invoking Kirk's name to advance illiberal claims and silence opponents.
I'm trying to think of examples.
You can stay on the neutral if you want.
I think I'm going to stay on neutral.
Okay, so go to the middle of the mat.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Tell him why you're there.
Representative Randy Fine in Georgia immediately tweeted, we've already fired 2 teachers, but if you know of anybody who's employed in the school system in my district, hell, anywhere in the state of Florida, let us know. We're going to get them out. We're going to fire them. That's one. J.D. Vance guest hosted Charlie Kirk's podcast and ended up telling people to inform on each other to their employers. Just straightforward weaponization. Pam Bondi went and said that she was going to violate the First Amendment and start arresting people if they had spoken in a way that disrespected Charlie Kirk's memory.
Arresting people?
Yeah, for hate speech, what she called hate speech.
Oh, that's the hate speech thing that she was talking about. All right, so I was on the neutral thing. Am I allowed to talk now?
You can move at any time.
The reason I was in the neutral is because I wasn't paying as close of attention to as the guy who wrote the article. So yeah, I'll agree with you.
Okay,
that's bad. That's illiberal. I don't like that. That
good.
sucks.
Good.
Don't be illiberal, people. Yes.
All right. Go back to the neutral. Everybody, reset to the neutral.
Still a bad article that I haven't read. Should read it quickly.
Anyone who publicly celebrates the death of Charlie Kirk should be canceled. Anyone who publicly celebrates the death of Charlie Kirk should be canceled.
Okay. It's the word anyone that I don't like.
Wow. Okay, just real quick in like 20 seconds apiece, tell me why you think that.
Why I think, well, the word anyone, I think there are situations in which publicly supporting the death of somebody who has been brutally murdered should end up in cancellation. I don't know what cancellation is. You could find examples where this is absolutely horrible for a company, for whoever. Anyone, if it's a high school student, a college student who's, tweets something, I don't want their lives to be ruined. I don't want them to be so-called canceled. So I would strongly disagree with the word anyone. I'm sure you could find a place where I would agree with someone being quote unquote canceled for publicly celebrating the death of anyone who was killed in the brutal way like that.
Are you in alignment with that?
I'm more opposed to the word canceled. I don't really want to support any campaigns that are involving people organizing pile-ons to stigmatize people and then to try to tag their employers and harm their livelihood. I just don't support that.
Okay. Any adult, let me do this claim. Any teacher who publicly celebrates the death of Charlie Kirk should be fired. Move. Any teacher.
That's a tough one.
It's a tough game.
Tough one. Don't pretend it's
a tough game.
Yeah. I'm going to be neutral on that while I think about it. Is this my safe space?
This is your safe space. This whole thing is a safe space.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I am.
There's a bunch of people glaring at me.
No.
It seems very safe to me.
Changing your minds is a virtue.
Yeah. I got to think about that.
How about this?
Any teacher.
How about this?
If my daughter's teacher did that, I would think that she should be fired. So I don't want my daughter to be taught by somebody who celebrates murder and death. So any teacher.
That's a good point. I don't think any teacher should be celebrating any murder and death.
Yeah.
Celebrating murder and death.
Is that why you're there?
No, but I would just say that I don't like this call to fire people for speech. I'm not really a supporter of that.
That's why I'm somewhere in between. Yeah.
How about this? Any teacher who publicly celebrates the death of Charlie Kirk in class while teaching should be fired.
We're going to be in the same mat, maybe. We're going to go to strongly? I'm going to go to absolutely just to fuck with you. I'm sorry for swearing, but it's free speech.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Okay. All right. So go back to the neutral. Social punishment from a social media mob, that is canceling, is worse than professional punishment like firing from the government. Social punishment from a social media mob, that is canceling, is worse than professional punishment, that is firing from the government.
But just to be clear, canceling is losing your job, right? From a social media mob.
Social kinds of canceling. You could be kicked out of, like if you're wealthy or something, a country club, or you could be ostracized from the knitting group.
In the,
I don't know where that came from. I just
experience, Peter.
Okay.
Have you been ostracized from your meeting group again? And that's professional punishment fighting from the government for saying Charlie Kirk should have been.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the. No, I don't think. No, getting fired by the government, that's bad. I'm going to go one side of you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help you.
Okay, good. Nuclear, I'm really surprised. I just want to say real quick, I'm really surprised from the initial disagreement on the claim, almost the univocality of belief here. Okay. Social punishment, establishing a Turning Point USA chapter in every high school is just as bad as installing curriculum from the 1916 project in every high school.
This is a long walk, so I'm going to cut across. To absolutely agree, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, real quick, the 16-9 project, 19 project in every high school. Tell me why you're on the strongly agree.
Instead of absolutely?
Yeah. Well, just what is your reasoning for that?
Oh, I mean, well, it's riddled with some historical errors. It's a revisionist history. It's imposing a kind of political point of view. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate. It's a form of propaganda. I was working at the New York Times at the time it was developed, I just don't have a lot of regard for that kind of propaganda project, and I don't think it should be put side by side with real works of history in school environments.
Okay, do you want to add to that real quick?
No, I think that's right.
Okay, I want someone who is neutral, who wants to come up for the original claim. Charlie Kirk is MAGA's George Floyd. Who's going to come up that's neutral? Who's neutral? Neutral. I need just one person. All right, sir. Come on up, sir. Come on up, her. You, sir. Okay. So go back to the original, where Charlie Kirk is MAGA's George Floyd.
Back
and
to
you,
where we...
you guys go where to the mats. Yeah. He's handing you something.
Thanks.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask them questions, and the purpose of your asking them questions, and you understand the arguments, yes?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So the purpose of you asking them questions is to see what is sufficient for you, a sufficient justification to move you not all the way over, just one to the left and one to the right. That's it.
Right.
So why don't you ask Michael first?
Sure. So I'll start with you. Okay, I guess.
No, start with him. You wrote the article.
Okay. Yeah, I figured as such.
I'm just a guinea pig here.
So just for clarification, when I first saw this, on the email that I was sent, at first I thought of it, I'm like, this is a really abstract idea, because I never really thought about it that way, comparing Kirk to Floyd in any way. But I guess just to clarify, it's not so much who the men were, how they lived, or how they died. It's more so how certain political groups or sides of the spectrum would treat their death and or try to push some sort of initiative or policy or cultural change. And that's how they're similar.
Very much so, yeah, exactly. You received it in an email, you said?
Yeah, it was an email.
Yeah, we sent around claims because we were looking for people to be on the neutral for some of these questions, so they could have an opportunity to ask people who have a disagreement, to facilitate a civil disagreement.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. You summed it up very well.
Okay, cool, thank you. And then just for clarification, you had mentioned stuff regarding timing and stuff, where there was the George Floyd stuff over the course of several months in 2020, along with COVID. There were different calls for changes, different reactions and stuff. With Kirk, it's still very recent. So, you would mention how much momentum is gonna keep going, if there's gonna be any serious change. So I guess for you in disagree, you would think that a lot of the momentum isn't gonna carry as much as opposed to what happened with Floyd, I guess.
Yeah, I think when taking the names out of it is it's a good headline, Jeff Goldberg, that they're the Charlie Kirk and George Floyd, it's the right's George Floyd. But what you could probably notice that Thomas and I were agreeing on almost everything. We could rewrite that article and rewrite that headline. It says, something about the dangers of political martyrdom and how people handle that and how people treat that. When you have a headline like that, it allows the brain immediately, which is why Thomas was getting so attacked by, Megyn Kelly, all of my sock puppet accounts. I went after you pretty hard too. It was just for fun. I still haven't read the article, which is hard, having not read the article, by the way. But that's the broad agreement, is that weaponizing this stuff for political purposes, in education, in, putting up statues is, bananas, right? I think it's bananas.
100%. And that's actually an interesting point about how the media packages nuanced
Your articles?
arguments. Well, it happens everywhere, because most people are not even clicking on the article and reading the full argument as you were able to elicit it through further questioning. Most people are just seeing that first headline and responding because they're so triggered by what they think the article is suggesting. And I can't say that the magazine isn't to blame for that, but as you know, writers don't.
Yeah. You writers don't write their own headlines. I've used that excuse too.
Any reasoning pop out at you as fallacious or flawed, or any reasoning particularly sufficient for you to move?
No, I don't think anything was flawed or bad logic, if that's what you're asking.
So you're not moving because?
Oh, no.
Because he wasn't told to.
No, you don't have to. It's a free country. You don't have to move. But I'm just curious, you're neutral on the claim. So what would cause you to move?
So, I was actually about to move before you asked, are you moving? So I'm going to shift to slightly agree, just because I do agree with the premise in regards to how are different political groups or factions reacting to it. I wouldn't go any further just because I'm very curious of the timing. So we're 5 years removed from George Floyd, so we kind of saw how did things pan out. There was some policy change regarding police reform and body cams and all that I think was the big policy change that came from it. It's there was a call for body cams, more accountability for law enforcement. We've seen a lot of that adopted. There was obviously resistance here and there, and there's probably room to improve, but we saw something there. I also think, too, in regards to policy change, 5 years ago, Trump was president, and there was also COVID, and it was a Democrat Congress, so there wasn't really, much partisan momentum at the federal level that could have happened from agencies. Also, it was the left that was, using the George Floyd death to push change. This time around, it's the right that's in charge, because we have both chambers of Congress are Republican. The Trump administration is back in power. And that, to me, I kind of wonder. I think they're also coming back with a vengeance. All
right, let me cut, because I want to give.
Sure.
What would cause you to move back to the neutral?
I think for now, I just need to wait on timing. For me, I'm seeing, how the administration is responding. Someone had mentioned J.D. Vance going on to, hosting the Charlie Kirk show, Pam Bondi mentioning the hate speech, and that, the libertarian in me really got grinded my gears.
Yeah. So it's in the cards for you to move?
It's in the cards, just not right now, I don't think.
Okay, cool. Give him a hand. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to have you go back there and you guys go on the neutral.
All right.
So I'm just going to spitball these, and I'm just going to throw them out, and then you move accordingly.
Okay.
It is important to me. What's the matter?
What's going to happen? Go ahead.
There's a claim. It's safe. This is a safe space, Michael. This is a safe space.
Again, it's full of people.
You're cool. No, everybody's like, see that? Look, everybody's giving you a thumb up. Look, well, almost he's giving you the finger, but everybody else give you a thumb. It is important to me to have some friendships in which my friends disagree with some of my ideas. Move. It is important to me to have some friendships in which my friends disagree with some of my core values. Move. It is important to me that my friends are honest with me about what they believe. You still on? You still?
They don't got to tell me everything.
Yeah. All my friends are liars, so it's
okay.
Right in the middle.
Switching gears a bit. The United States should militarily fund Ukraine. Move.
Yeah, I think probably where Thomas is actually. Yeah.
Donald Trump is a good president. Move. Good president. You guys are incredulous at the question.
I'm generous and there's some time left, so let's see what happens.
I'm doing what I want to do with my life right now.
Oh my God, why do you ask that? It's like the exercise in humiliation. I don't know. Guess.
Slightly agree.
By the way, this is what I'm doing with my life right now. So you tell me.
Okay. It is more important to be honest than it is to be kind. Move.
Yeah, no, that's wrong.
My relationships are the most important things in my life. Move. I think it's important to have a physical excellence. Move.
Physical excellence?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, I'm over here. It's like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I just say neutral. That would be nice. Neutral.
Now, the last time we had dinner was in New York, and the last time I saw you was in New York. I like living in New York. I think Mandami would be a good mayor for the city of New York. Interesting. I think Mandami will do very serious damage to the city of New York. Move.
Oh, that's not a discrete thing. Somewhere there.
Interesting. If Mandami does do damage or serious damage to the city of New York, the federal government should bail out New York City. Move.
Bail out New York City?
Just pay for all the damage he's caused. Supermarkets, police, destroyed the infrastructure.
Trump to New York, drop dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to bail it, really?
If he ruins New York,
You want them to bail it? No, that's our fault. That's not, okay. Anyway.
Okay, all right, hold on, real quick. Grab that board over there. We don't have much time left. Grab the board and the pen.
It's 40 seconds, so.
We don't have much time. We're gonna do this real quick. Write down, don't let the other person see, write down the reason that you're on the strongly disagree and that you're on the agree. The federal government should bail out New York City if Mandami destroys it. Bail it out. The federal government should say, well, shit happens, here's a couple billion. The best reason you have. Okay. I'm going to have you, don't let me see.
Okay.
I want you to guess the reason that he has on the board, and all I'm looking for you is a yes or no. Is the reason that he's going to guess sufficient? Yes or no? Go ahead. What does he have on his board?
What does he have on his board?
Now, what's the best reason he has for standing there? What is it?
Because New York is the capital of financial capital, and we need to save that. I have no idea. What you're
Yes or
Smarter
no?
answer.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Is that right?
It's in the vicinity, but it's better than what I was
Oh, good. I was just going to ask. That's a better answer than you have on the board.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, good. Can you show them what you have?
Can you read my handwriting?
The Fed pays for all kinds of things that matter less than New York City. Okay, that's undeniable.
No, that's actually a good answer.
That's
a very good
I'm
answer.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be neutral as a facilitator, but that is a great answer. Okay, guess the reason that he has on his board.
I'm imagining it's a kind of libertarian principle that you should be responsible.
No, that's the first guess. Guess again.
That we don't have the money for this type of carelessness.
No.
Okay, you got one more guess. One more.
I literally said it right before.
Oh, I didn't
If you
hear
remember,
it.
I was muttering it like a psycho. Yeah.
Supermarkets? You said it. That's what you said.
He really wants good
no bailiff for
supermarkets.
Christie's.
Okay, so share with their answer.
It's our own damn fault.
Say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Casey.
Elections have consequences.
Yeah, explain that to everybody.
Yeah, if we vote for somebody and it doesn't go well, we don't get somebody else to bail us out, right? It's a very simple concept.
It's not a libertarian
it's our own damn
principle.
fault.
It's
and
a
we
moral
should
principle.
suffer if we have state-run grocery stores and we become, 1970 Vladivostok. So,
Awesome.
my
Do you guys have fun?
A lot of fun.
Awesome.
Always,
Thank you. Give him a
always.
hand. Thank you,
You're
man.
done.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming.